Hey everybody, I'm back with another reading. I was being a nerd and I had another tarot spread layout for the month of February. Now, I've done this for myself personally, but not for like a whole group of people before. I'm not used to talking to a group of people about this and reading for a group of people. I've done one-on-ones with select few that have known where to find me and how to get a hold of me. Other than that, I've been keeping things hidden. And I wasn't going to record this, but I felt led to, especially with the first card that fell out for the overarching energy, a certain slant of light, where things that are hidden come to the light and are uncovered and are the answers that we've all been looking for. So on the flip chance that this is actually something that might benefit y'all and that I'm right in recording this, then it's done. But if I'm wrong, then I can just hit delete. Okay, so that's our overarching card, and we're going to start the weeks out with this deck here. The Mermaid's Oracle. Oracle of the Mermaids. Alright. So we need a card for week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just to give us the general sense, energy-wise, of what's going to happen, what to expect, what to be on guard for, what to prepare for. Alright. Wow. We got fertility, potential, powerful, creative energy, initiation energy. And we have yearning, longing for someone, undesired separation, pining, goodness. Pretty sure Venus retrograde ended, y'all. And Mercury retrograde is about to be done as well. Then week 3, looks like we have telepathy. We need one more for week 4. Now, this is my first time doing this spread, so figuring it out. Time and tide, oceanic spells and rituals. Okay. We are going to clarify those, or decode those, with the Shadowscape deck. Holy Spirit, break down what you're trying to impart to us for each week, please. Uneven, rearrange. Reorganize. Rebuild. Okay. What do you have for week 1? Fertility. Potential, powerful, creative energy. We got the 4 of Pentacles. It's initiation energy. Anything else? Okay, yearning. Do you have for week 2? Four of Wands. This card makes me think of Bambi, Twitter-pated, when they go leaping through the meadows. Guess that would make sense. Valentine's Day is around the corner. I don't normally do love readings. All right, week 3 telepathy. We've got the King of Swords. And for time and tide, we have 3 of Cups. Okay. So I guess I should explain what I was being a nerd about. I was looking up the moon phases. That's what I do. I'm big on seasons and cycles, moon phases, when and where and why. So, and I took my notes. So I wouldn't drag out the video if I was supposed to record it and post it. Alright, so today is Monday that I'm recording this. January 31st, and its current illumination for the moon is 1%, and it's in the waning crescent phase. Tomorrow, Tuesday, February 1st, symbolic, they say is the new moon. Now, if you believe there's only 8 moon phases, then yes, that would be your new moon. But there are some that believe, like me, that there is a 9th phase, and it is the dark moon. That's where the moon has 0 illumination whatsoever. It's completely dark. So, actually, on February 1st, there is no illumination. It's not until February 2nd that there's a 2% illumination. So technically, if you want to be that person, technically February 2nd would be the new moon, and then tomorrow will be the dark moon. So what comes with that is the void energy. The dark moon has no illumination. I'm sure by now most of us all understand how our bodies and nature and life cycles go with the moon cycle. So with that being said, when it's waning, it's leaving, we're letting go. When it's waxing, we're growing, we're heightening our activity. Full moon, we're maxed out. But the dark moon, people don't really talk about. It's more tied with shadow work because of the void energy. And the void is nothing more than the empty, the space for creation, where the magic happens, where there's nothing started, yet something has ended. That in between, all right, it's that portal, if you will, in the illusionary doorway for time. Because we all know that time is truly an illusion. And that's another video in and of itself. But, so, I wanted to know personally what, we as general population should be doing with everything going on, just being a mom. And, so that's why I'm doing this. So, and I know a lot of us, me personally, I can say haven't had a lot of information. Like, it's just, we know what's going to happen at the end, but we don't necessarily know how we're getting there. We don't know where the money's coming from. We don't know when it's coming, even if we do know what is coming, or there's just information that we need or we cannot find, and a lot of that has to do with Mercury retrograde, screwing up communications, trouble getting complete thoughts out. Like right now, this whole video, this will be the second time I tried to record this just to be on the safe side, because every time I try not to, my cards go everywhere. So, with fertility, we have potential, powerful, creative energy, initiation energy, and what to do with the void. The positive aspects is that if you know how to handle the blank energy, it's like a pause, it's like a timeout, it's like just life freeze frame, like, I don't know, Charmed, when they froze time and everything just stopped. Y'all know what episode I'm talking about. That's that energy that comes in with the void, right? And there's multiple ways to use it. That way you don't get sucked into the negative aspects of it. Because while it's great to have that pause, that suspension in time where you have that capability of taking a breather, just loose on for a second, you know, taking 24 hours just to recoup. And then with Imbolc being on dark moon at the same time, that's the halfway mark until spring equinox from winter solstice. So here we are, it's kind of like we're almost there cue, and it's where we start prepping for the springtime. We start prepping. I know a lot of people start seeds around this time. That's how they actually welcome in Imbolc. They'll plant seeds because that's the time of year. And by the time we have our snow thaw, for those of us in the climate that has snow, by the time the snow's thawed, the plants are ready to be put in the ground. We're already ahead of the game. Plants are all gorgeous, big, bushy vegetables, just awesome, ready to go. But not everybody knows what to do with that. So the negative aspect of that would be people get really afraid of it because it's empty, like there's nothing there. And if you're already in a messed up state mentally, you're going to feel like something's extra wrong. You don't know what it is, but you're just like, I need. You don't know what you need because you have food, you have this, you have that. Maybe not as much as you want, but it's reachable, it's within grasp. You know deep down there's really nothing to be afraid of, but you just have this feeling. You know, it's kind of like being lost in a cave with multiple tunnels and no guideposts, no signs, no direction, no markers or anything. You're like, well, what do I do? Where do I go? Like, how do I operate in this? How do I navigate this? So what normally is done physically, what is done happens in the spirit. What is in the spirit happens in the natural. So to physically get a grasp on it, because we are corporal beings right now. Yes, there's our divine entity within us. Man, this is going to get real deep. Oh, okay. Yes, we have our corporal self here and our divine self within us. But in order to access the divine aspect of us, we need to be able to corral the corporal, the physical aspect of us. So that goes to our house. Our house reflects us as a human. It reflects our soul, the bedroom, the bathroom where we cleanse from our long day, our kitchen where we feed and we nourish ourselves. You know, all that translates to something in the spirit. Whole nother topic. But what you can do during this time is you can clean your house. You know, if there is a pile of bills or letters or paper or something that has not been gone through, just sit down while you're watching a show and sort it out. It doesn't seem like much, but if you can get rid of the clutter in the physical realm, it goes away in the spirit realm. You'll clear your mind. The minute that pile's gone, you will feel a little bit better. And you'll feel like you accomplished something. If there's one room that you just haven't gotten to dusting, you dust it and polish it, and you will have a feeling. All right, it's kind of like you got the grit off your exterior, because your house is where people come into. It's where you welcome them. So if your house is dirty, what's going on in here? We're probably repelling people. We're probably hiding out like she is. One, we don't have all the answers. We don't know what the heck's going on. We don't know what's going on with ourselves. We're all up in our head. So if we clean, by default, it'll be cleaned in the spirit and we'll be in a better place. If you organize things in your house where it's not cluttered and it's labeled or in a place that makes sense for it, your headspace will automatically reorganize itself and clarity will come. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, well, duh, the answer's right in front of me. You didn't see it for the pile on your desk, your mental desk. You couldn't see it because everything was in heaps. But the minute you cleared up your heaps, your mental heaps, your mental desk was cleared, and you now had a proper place to work. And creativity is then allowed to surge. Inspiration is then allowed to surge. You can actually hear the Holy Spirit talk to you because your mind is cleared of the clutter. All right. You can also make plans at this time. If you have a specific goal that you would like to reach, like I said, a lot of people at In Bulk, they plant something. They'll plant a seed. You can, because the action of planting the seed, and then burying the paper with it, it is a physical and an intentional and a conscious act that you are doing to represent what it is that you want in the spirit. So whatever you plant should correspond with what it is that you want. That's something that you're going to need to research and figure out for yourself, because you have your own soul journey, and only you are really going to know what it is that calls to you, what it is that you need to clear out. I can only open the doorway for you to walk through to yourself. I'm just a gatekeeper. I'm just a tower watcher. I'm just guidepost person. So I can't speak specifics on that. But yeah, so whatever you plant and your intention, you plant that, and the act of the plant growing symbolizes and is a physical reminder for the intention that you sowed spiritually. Okay? That's a whole part of manifestation thing that gets really crazy. Another thing that you could do is you can burn paper with the message. That's quick. That's that fire energy. Depending on what it is, it's meant to speed up. It's meant to add more intensity. Something like if you're building a business, you're going to want to probably bury it, because that's something that has to be nurtured and built. Communities have to be gathered. People have to be found. Talent needs to be scouted. Money has to be generated or invested. There's a lot to go on with that. And with the earth being steady and rooted and grounding and stable, it's strong enough to hold the trees from flying off in the wind. So be strong enough to help grow the intention that you have within. The burning aspect, that one, the burning paper, that's for smaller goals, quicker goals. Like if you want extra assistance in cleaning and organizing, projects that have taken you months to do, that should only take you a day max. Those sort of things, that sort of intention, you can burn that. That's something that, and it makes sense, because you really can. If you put your mind to it and you really focus and you really want it, you're really going to do it. But you have to figure out what your motivation is. But the fire is for the speeding up. Another thing that you can do for cleansing, not just your house to cleanse your spirit, but to also cleanse your spirit body, is to take an Epsom salt bath. It's cheap, affordable, but it's the intention. You can set up the candles if you want to, colorize them, inscribe them, whatever you want to do with that. That's on you. Only you, again, know what corresponds with your intention, because it's your intention, and you know what it is that in your mind that you have, that God's promised you, that you're wishing for, that you're dreaming about, that you have burning in your chest. Yeah. So that's what all came down to me, which triggered me to do the reading. So like I said, I was being a nerd. All right. So for week 1, we had the fertility potential, powerful creative energy, and initiation of energy. But you also have the void moon happening, the dark moon happening. So with the 4 of Pentacles, you're sitting content right now with what you have. There's no activity that needs to be taken. You can just rest if you want to rest. But if you do need to do something, like you have that ram or that bull energy where you feel like you need to do something physical, this waiting thing isn't the best thing for you. I know I'm very impatient myself. It helps me stay focused and not get lost in the I want it right now. I am so excited for it. I need it right now. Because when it doesn't happen right when you need it to happen, it's easy to get disappointed, especially if your goals tend to be a little bit larger. Then we have Judgment. Ooh. Now the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords. Okay. The Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, you feel like you're caught up in a cycle. You just, like a never-ending well, you'll never get out of it, like you're trapped. Kind of like a baby waiting to be born. Here you see, that's you. Just waiting. Just using the energy of the void to create, to plan in your safe little incubation. I know a lot of people think that this is stingy and greedy, especially with this particular deck. But I don't see it as stingy and greedy, just being safeguarded. Kind of like she is. She's just being safeguarded. Hiding away. There's a time to be out and about. There's a time to stay to yourself. And if you're working on your interior self, then you probably shouldn't be out there and about until you get a couple things fixed, because you might hurt someone's feelings unintentionally because you're just hurting inside yourself. I will testify. But you're not really trapped. There's just a time for it. But you'll be taken care of no matter what. I mean, Six of Pentacles, it's just the recycling of energy. So as long as you're putting out good, you're going to get back good, and you're going to be okay. And you're not going to be as inclined to go through the negative emotions that we tend to feel during the dark moon. Right, telepathy, non-verbal communication, energetic pulses, and King of Swords. Oh wait, that's week 3. So, whoops, yearning. I guess we have to get to Valentine's Day. Alright, longing for someone, undesired separation, and pining, and 4 of Wands. Alright. There's a lot going on right now, supernaturally, with twin flame and divine union and divine connections, not just in romance, but with business and family and friendships. But in regards, since it is falling on the second week, right? I think that's second week, 14th. Yeah, second week. There's a lot of that I personally witnessed since this whole thing has started. There's been a lot of breakups and get back togethers, and breakups and get back togethers, and weird relationship things happening that you never thought was going to happen with people. I mean, we were isolated for a while. A lot of people still are very isolated, and when you're isolated and locked down, you are forced to self-evaluate. You are forced to face yourself. You are forced to reflect. You are forced to deal with yourself and your BS and everything that comes with you and your BS. That goes with your choices. And a lot of people either realized they had the best thing since sliced bread and they were happy as a pig and shit, or either they realized they'd made a mistake. They had made a mistake, and or either they weren't doing right, and are now struggling to fix what they broke. So there's a lot going on in the area of relationships. And if I must do a love reading, I prefer to do those solo, because the storylines can get a little complex, although there tends to be a lot of third-party stories, people. Alright, but with Four of Wands, it's happiness, stability. So people are wanting to be loved. They're looking for the stable love. They're looking for their divine twin. They're looking for their other half, or what they feel to be other half. Eesh, that's a lot of cards. Okay. You have the Magician, the Eight of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, Two of Pentacles, and, well, the King of Wands. Okay. Alright, so with everything that I just said about being on lockdown, there's a lot of people that have been doing a lot of dreaming and figuring out what their dream life would be like, their dream partner would be like. Yeah. You have the opportunity to do new beginnings. For a lot of people, you are where you were 10 years ago, right now. Think back 10 years ago and think about where you were. And then think about 10 years before that and where you were. Think about the cycles of 10 and how your life played the people that were in your life. Even if it wasn't the same person for 10, 20 years, did you have the same type of people in that cycle? And a lot of people are realizing that they have. And so with all of this going on, the systems are being stripped up, torn apart down to the very root, just like within ourselves. So it's happening at every level of life. Everything is being redone, reconfigured, renewed, rethought, reworked, rethunk. Like, I mean, there's some hard mindset changing. Not just a little bit. But that comes with being forced to face yourself. There's that other aspect. Were you being the partner that you wanted them to be? Are you being the good partner that you want them to be? Or is that something that you need to work on? Do you have some fixing to do? Or are you guys wonderful? But whoever this one is for, it doesn't seem like you guys are wonderful, because it says you're yearning and you're looking for someone. Undesired separation, pining. So either you're looking for somebody, or you're afraid to let go of somebody, but you still want to be loved. If that's the case, y'all can have whatever it is y'all want. Y'all are the magician. Y'all have the capabilities to get whatever it is y'all want, if y'all acknowledge y'all's divinity. If you remember who y'all are at the core of yourself, then yes, you can manifest your right relationship. Four of Wands speaks of happy home. That's what you want. And you may have that right now. I'm not saying you don't. Just because you're yearning does not mean that you're unhappy with where you're at. You might be yearning for an aspect of your younger years in your relationship, or your courting days. But I think on that level, it's just speaking to, we all want to be loved. And we're all looking for love. But for those who are single, because I really feel like whoever's coming through is single. If you do the soul work, because you have the Four of Cups here beneath the Magician. If you do the soul work, you can have it. Eight of Pentacles, a number of new beginnings. It's going to take some work. Nothing is built overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. But I have seen these little guys web a fast weave. So I'm not saying that it can't come in swiftly. Two of Pentacles and a King of Wands. I'd say yes, someone may be coming. Hold on. Get the mini-me's out for a second. Alright, King of Wands. What's up with the King of Wands? Okay, no, not yet. You got the Four of Swords in reverse, Cups in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, the Fool in reverse, and then the Seven of Cups upright. Like, I feel you got options, or either the person that is coming back is not meant to be with you. You're like saying no, not today. You're just sleeping on that offer. Flip that cup upside down, and you did just, yeah, you're not going to be a fool on this one. You got the Two of Pentacles balancing your heart and your mind. Because of Venus retrograde, there are a lot of people that were in their heads about their relationships, especially after being on lockdown. Especially with people being on lockdown. They're finding difficulty in balancing who they used to be pre all this mess and then who they are now becoming as we're coming out of it, if that makes sense. You have the before you and then the after you. And the after you may be completely different and alien in comparison to the old you. Like if you used to drink, you might not drink at all. You might be sober. You know, if you did sports, you might just give it up because you didn't like it. You only did it because, you know, your dad or your mom or your uncle or somebody wanted you to do it. You know, like we had time to evaluate things we truly liked and didn't like. Yeah. We had time to evaluate who we really are and take the time to discern what people told us we were and what we actually chose to be and what we allowed ourselves to become by default of lack of choice. By just letting other people control us or choose for us and us just, okay. People please them. Then you have the Hierophant. And that speaks of traditions and old ways and old systems, old mindsets, old. And you can't put new wine in old wineskin. You just can't. The moon is about illusions and everything like that. And I really think There's an underground current. It hasn't quite made it mainstream yet, but there's an underground current of spiritual healers and believers that are getting revelation that the church has not received. Or I can't say that they have not received. Yeah, I can, because I have yet to hear it from a pulpit. I've heard parts of it, but not all of it. And until I hear it, I have to go by what I'm being told right now. As of right now, the things that are about to emerge are not coming from the pulpit, nor will they come from the pulpit. But they're going to come from the everyday people like me and you. They are the ones that are going to be hearing directly from God. And that is exciting. With that being said, you got to keep your balance. Okay? Right now, just might not be the time. You might be in a position where you can't do anything about it. But whatever the situation is for you, you're supposed to keep your balance, because you got Two of Pentacles twice. Keep your balance. It's kind of like standing on the sand at the beach and the waves come in and suck the sand from beneath your feet, and you gotta stay standing. Things are shifting right now. And you don't want to make any rash decisions that you can't take back. Because Judgment's there, showing up. True, it's in the first week, but that's when you really make that in the first week with the void and everything. And what you start in February is really going to start showing up in your springtime readings. And it's going to start showing up in the summer and fall. Like, now is the time to plant whatever it is that you want to plant, and to fix what it is that you don't want. So if there's an issue in your relationship, fix it. Work on it. If you know that that's the person you're supposed to be with, fix it and work on it. If you know that that's not the person you're supposed to be with, okay, plan, prepare. Plan and prepare. I know that he's coming, just not right now. It ain't going to be in week number 2, most likely. But you got a King of Wands, so you can manifest him or her. Okay. Alright, let's go with telepathy. Week 3. Nonverbal communication, energetic pulses, and mind reading. Now, after Valentine's Day, you might have a lot of telepathy moments if you're inclined to that sort of thing. Because of the holiday that just passed and the emotional door that is being triggered open with the ads and the commercials and everything that they do. I struggle with Valentine's Day because, one, its history does not make sense for what it is now and what it's become. And what it is now is just, yeah. So, King of Swords. A lot for that love. Many. Alright, we got King of Swords and we got the Emperor. That makes sense. We'd be cruising towards the first quarter moon, full moon. Lovers and Hierophant. Okay. Okay. Since you have the Lovers, it kind of clears it up now. Because that one was a little all over the place. Since you got the Lovers showing up here in week 3 after Valentine's Day, you might have communication, which is why King of Wands, they ain't there yet. It's not time to rekindle anything yet, per se. But it doesn't mean that you can't talk to them. And it doesn't mean that they ain't going to try to talk to you. Yeah. Somebody wants communication with somebody. And somebody is having happy ever thoughts. Happy ever after thoughts. And they're just kind of Twitter-pated in their mind, flitting through the fields. Just hoping and praying and working on good things. But you're also working on yourself. You're reflecting. They're trying to bring you in. And you're reflecting. But then again, on the flip side, this could be your energy and you're trying to manifest them because you have done the work and you are starting to weave that new beginning, your new future, and you see them in it. Either way, keep your balance. Just keep your balance. Be cautious. And if you are letting somebody in, make sure they're doing their soul work. That way they don't undo all your hard soul work and keep you feeling like this. Looking back like, oh my gosh, what did I create? There's a time and a season for everything. So follow your gut in that section. Well, follow your gut in everything, but really follow your gut in that one. Because when the heart gets involved and it clouds the mind and yeah. Alright. Week 3, you have the King of Swords, the Lovers, the Emperor, and the Hierophant. Lessons, lessons, lessons. I feel like with the start, the halfway mark of spring being here, normally things move in the spirit before they actualize in the physical. So with that being said, ooh, death. Okay, we'll see. With that being said, they may come in then. They may come in then. They may come in week 3. It's following that. And you do have the Lovers. And you do have that really strong masculine energy at the King of Swords. And it looks like he's just waiting. And then you have the Hierophant. Oh, how'd this thing turn into a love reading? Okay. I'm sorry for whoever this is if this is coming out confusing. Apparently I wasn't supposed to do an overall week in general. Somebody needed some clarification about their love life. So if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, I apologize that this reading is not for you. Alright. I feel like with telepathy being here and the Lovers being here together and then the Emperor and the Hierophant, I really feel like whoever you are and whoever you have your connection with, it is probably twin flame. It is a soul bonded, spirit bonded, body bonded. You might not have met each other yet, but when you do, it'll be like y'all were made for each other. And if you have, you probably remember that, which is why you were back in your 4 of Cups energy. You were reflecting and yearning. And if it is true that y'all are soul mated and soul twinned and soul matched and twin flamed and all that really deep connection, not just a, oh, well, you were a great experience and a wonderful life lesson. And I'm not saying the karmic either. Oh, hold on, daughter's home from school.